11 races down and 2 to go. Things are tightening up here at the Canadian Motorsports Network as more competitive and thrilling American open wheel racing continues. One driver has clear intentions of clinching a coveted sim racing championship after a controversial win 1 week ago. But is a 33-point lead in the championship point standings enough with 2 races remaining? We will find that out tonight. Good evening, folks, and welcome to another live production for Season 2 of the Canadian Motorsports Network Dart Series on iRacing. The oval stretch continues, and as a matter of fact, it ends tonight with the final oval race of the season. We are set to complete round 12 of the running for the second annual Greg Moore Cup. It's the Fontana DART 250 at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. And now here we go over towards... That's more like it. Welcome to the broadcast booth here for the Canadian Motorsports Network. I am your main voice in Regan McCauley from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. On the other side, he's been here since the very beginning from Alberta, Canada. On the other side of the country, it is Jordy Caraher. This time around, hopefully no more of those technical issues that we dealt with, or that you had to deal with last week back when we were doing the Pocono 250, of course. And obviously, because of those difficulties, you were only able to pop in for a little bit of the race. But I will safely assume that you have caught up on what has occurred as of recently, especially at the end of the first annual Pocono 250 at Pocono Raceway last Tuesday night, where rookie and pole sitter Dylan Bahm absolutely dominated the race in terms of laps led, leading 83 of 100, and he was the class of the field up until the second half when a series of cautions and pit stops tightened the field up. And at least 5 drivers around, towards the end had a legitimate shot to win. 3 in particular were close together coming to the checkered flag. It was down the straightaway, the backstretch going into turn 2 on the final lap, and contact between Bahm and fellow rookie and points leader Charlie Sears sends Bahm into the outside wall. Sears goes to victory lane for the 4th time within the past 5 races. Yes, 4 wins within 5 races. What a stretch that's been. No surprise to see him at the top of the points. Again, this is a guy that was at the bottom of the points after race 1, where, again, back at Barber, where he won the pole and didn't even make the first corner. So certainly has been an interesting campaign for him. His first one here within the Canadian Motorsports Network and the Dart Series. Although, again, he does have his opinion of the finish. His post-race winner interview, he personally likes to think, it might have been a little bit of netcode, or just, it was a racing deal, because he kind of went up, Bahm came down. That's kind of the way it looked right there. He's got his opinion. The finish still begs a question, though, for tonight and next week. Has the tone been set in the lead up to the championship finale? Tonight will be a test of that in what is expected, again, according to the drivers, to be an all-out pack racing brawl at Auto Club Speedway. But first, Jordy, your thoughts on Charlie Sears' recent dominance, and a big question too, do you think the championship is his just yet, or is it still too early to say with 2 races remaining?
All right, so regardless of who does it, 4 wins and 5 starts, that's enough to make you say, wow, right? Like, we're just got to get that out of the way here. Like, pretty much ever since that first week of November, like, he's effectively been unstoppable, save for that second of the twin 125s. But yeah, you kind of talk about a tone being set. It's kind of been Bahm and Sears back and forth all season, not necessarily in the points, but certainly on track, because there's been multiple incidents between the two. And last week at the finish on the final lap was, just kind of the latest flashpoint of that, right? So ultimately, I think, while both guys are obviously going to race super hard for it, I think we've come to expect that by now. And yeah, 33-point difference. Like, yeah, there's the potential for it, like, especially if Charlie Sears goes off and kind of runs and hides from the field. I believe it would be what would it be, 9th place finish or worse that Bahm would need to have a 53-point.
You're the math. Yeah, I use you as the math guys. So quite frankly, I'll let you handle that.
Well, I was going to say I don't have it right in front of me, but I think that's sort of the ballpark of where he would need to be. So ultimately, I think it will come down to Laguna Seca, but Charlie Sears can certainly put a much bigger dent into it with another victory tonight, or Dylan Bahm closes the gap, and we find ourselves in more of a true showdown next week in virtual Monterey.
Absolutely. Now, as we continue to recap what has gone on as of recently before we get into what's coming up here are the results from the first annual Pocono Dart 250. Charlie Sears qualified 5th and charged his way to his 5th win of the season. Andy Hurdle and Ty Higginbottom took advantage of the final lap 2-car accident to claim podium finishes. Mike Marini also did also avoid that accident with a 4th place finish, his 3rd top 5 finish within the past 5 races. And fun fact, he has finished 7th or higher 6 races in a row. Daniel Cudmore qualified 7th and remained a backmarker for most of the race, but his conservative and patience approach, as per usual, prevailed with his 2nd top 5 finish of the season. Mark Ouellette finally found a big break with a 6th place finish after weeks of poor finishes. Dylan Bahm held on to a 7th place finish, which, if I recall correctly, he did manage to cross the line at the end despite a completely destroyed car. Correct me if I'm wrong. C.D. Magrum was en route to a podium finish, but he was caught up in the last lap incident, which obviously does not help him in the points whatsoever. He's still up there, I believe still battling for the 3rd position, which we will get into later. Drivers like Jose Mercado, Kyle Knoll, Jason Butler, and Hunter Young all dealt with bad luck towards the end of the race, and Corbin McCauley tragically crashed early. 7 drivers did not participate. We hope some of them will hopefully end up showing up to tonight's race. So far, it's looking like we have 13 entries thus far. And as I continue here now into the championship point standings, these are the points after 11 of 13 rounds. Do note that at the end of the season, drivers drop their worst finish of the season. That does affect the points, of course. Charlie Sears is 33 points ahead of fellow rookie, or perhaps you could say rival, maybe, Dylan Bahm. By no means is the championship clinched, as we've said, but a good finish tonight for Sears would no doubt help him. And we have a fight for the bottom of the championship podium as Ty Higginbottom and Andy Hurdle they're tied at 338 points each, while C.D. Magrum is 1 point behind. 53 points behind him is a battle for 6th between Corbin McCauley and Mike Marini. Jose Mercado, Darcy Ford, and Daniel Cudmore are in a battle for 8th. And to conclude, there's pretty much no reason to be bored here because, yes, of course, there is that high point gap for Sears up at the top, but there are battles happening absolutely everywhere, and we're certainly going to be witnessing many tonight at Auto Club Speedway, which we'll get into a little bit more in depth on the racing product we should expect here tonight later on. And then we get to, give me a second here. There's the Rookie of the Year standings where the Sears versus Bahm battle is the exact same there as well. And then you got C.D. Magrum 57 points behind Sears, so he'll need to have some miracles happen within the next 2 races if he does want a chance right there. Again, not over yet for Dylan Bahm, maybe even C.D. Magrum as well, but yeah, that battle continues on up towards the top right there as we move on to the manufacturer standings, where we have a battle for the ages here because Toyota has led the standings every single week except now. The recent dominance by Charlie Sears has helped Chevrolet climb up the standings and create the tie that you see at 441 points each. Initially, it was Toyota and Rolls-Royce kind of going at it there, but Chevy has climbed its way up thanks to, again, the 4 wins within 5 races for Charlie Sears as, again, kind of the pioneer Chevy guy this season. And then we there's the Nations Cup where Canada is practically dead and the United States are blaring Freebird on full volume. 438 points separate the bordering countries, so yes, up in the true north, strong and free, leaves have fallen and igloos have melted.
Indeed, they have. This isn't 1812 anymore, unfortunately, Reeg. The U.S., they've got this one on lock.
Indeed, they do. And at this point, I would start getting into a description of the track, but we literally have qualifying that's about to begin here, so might as well kind of highlight that. And also, we don't have a ride-along, but might as well watch these guys go around the track and still kind of get a bit of a live idea of how this works. So there's your little scenic views here of the Auto Club Speedway. Let's see where I can get to here. See if any drivers are on the track. There we go. Sure, we will go with, well, of course, we have to go with the points leader in Charlie Sears, obviously, we'll put the ticker on. Qualifying laps will get on there. You'll be able to see the differences between each driver. But of course, I might as well explain here during qualifying. Actually, I was supposed to show the schedule graphic, but we'll just kind of get into a description here anyways. Second half of the schedule. Tonight's event, round 12, the Fontana 250 at Auto Club Speedway. Final race of the season at an oval with the 2-lap qualifying format, as you're seeing here from Charlie Sears. One last shot at oval glory for the superstars of the Canadian Motorsports Network DART Series. 250 miles, 125 laps at Southern California's premier motorsports facility. Or at least was, considering the fact the track is now closed as a part of the Next Gen California project and is currently being demolished with the goal of becoming a short track, which has been to the demise of pretty much every single racing fan out there. But thankfully, the memories live on in the virtual world, so here we are. Auto Club, 2-mile, 3.2 kilometer, 4-turn D-shaped oval, turns at 14 degrees, front stretch at 11, back stretch is at 3. Auto Club opened in 1997 and has hosted both NASCAR and American Top open wheel racing since then. The latter we cannot specify due to legal reasons. NASCAR ran between 97 and 2023, while the open wheel series ran from 97 to 2005, and then 2012 to 2015. And let's just say the last time the real-life series ran at Auto Club, it was arguably the greatest race of all time, the 2015 MAVTV 500, an extremely nostalgic race to many racing fans that, again, had an unbelievable 80 lead changes and amazingly never had a wreck with more than 3 cars involved. I mean, there was the Ryan Briscoe flip on the final lap, but again, no wreck with more than 3 cars, which is absolutely incredible. So many moments of contact. Shocking they never had a big wreck. But if you go watch the full race replay, you might end up seeing another edition of it here tonight live, because that's what drivers are expecting. You can go full throttle around this track. There's plenty of grip. It's only like track temperatures like 20 degrees Celsius or something like that the last I checked the weather info tab. And yeah, it's pretty much going to be an all-out pack racing brawl, basically. So yeah, Jordy, thoughts on Auto Club?
Yeah, so obviously, I come from a slightly different generation to you, so you wouldn't have been alive for this, but obviously, in the DART series, they're racing for the Greg Moore Cup, and unfortunately, 1999, it was this very track that claimed the life of our namesake driver in this, and
yes,
he was on his way to such amazing things. That was one of the first kind of sporting incidents where I kind of remember what I was feeling, because that was the dude I was behind at that point. He was on his way to, I believe, Penske the next year after leaving Players. But yeah, it was that was a shock, to say the very least, and it's the first kind of real thing that's, again, even thinking about it now, it's still semi-emotional, just kind of robbed of what could have been, essentially, but as you say, over the years, it's still produced plenty of exciting action in the years that have passed. And yeah, hopefully, even though, as you say, the track in this current form does not exist anymore, hopefully, we can bring back some of the more positive memories of the past, shall we say.
Absolutely, too. Yeah, I mean, Greg Moore, no doubt, was on his way to becoming a superstar within American open wheel racing. Maybe even if he took a shot in NASCAR, there's no doubt he would have been absolutely talented there as well. So yeah, the namesake right there again, going for every driver here going for the second annual Greg Moore Cup. So absolutely doing this in honor of the Canadian racing legend gone too soon. And with all that being said, qualifying has come to an end. And I can tell you one thing, a familiar face is on the pole, and the points leader is surprisingly lower than what we would expect. But again, though, it's full out. These cars, these Dallara IR-01s can go full speed. There's no need for any braking unless there's checkups or wrecks or whatever. You can go all out. There's all the grip in the world, although, again, though, these cars can get extremely loose. We still saw that Pocono. Yes, it was a much slicker racetrack, a lot hotter over there. Sun was full out blazing on these DART Series drivers, but still, a lot of different factors are going to come at play here tonight. Everyone's pretty much going to be stuck together in kind of one pack, might kind of single file out, especially with potential green flag pit windows, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. And Jordy, I guess from a visual standpoint here, you can kind of tell that you can kind of already get a spoiler of the starting grid here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the old purple is a little bit further back. The old chuck wagon's going to have to do some work here to get to the front.
Absolutely. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go into race control, give these drivers a quick message, and tell them to be freaking patient. And other than that, say the most famous words in motorsports. Get these engines fired up, and we will go get underway with the second to last race of Season 2 for the Canadian Motorsports Network Dart Series on iRacing, live here at the Auto Club Speedway in Southern California. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the other side. And thus you just heard the engines get fired up right there. So it's time to get to the starting grid here for tonight's event here at Auto Club Speedway. Beginning with the front row, we have on pole of, no surprise right there, guys, got maybe 4 or 5 poles, something like that now. The number 3 Toyota of rookie Dylan Bahm alongside him. 7/1000ths of a second behind him there. The number 17 Honda of Corbin McCauley will start in the second position. Now moving on to row 2, we have the number 7 Rolls-Royce of Andy Hurdle alongside him, looking to rebound after unfortunate luck there on the final lap, that crash at the end at Pocono. It's the number 1 BMW of CD Magram.
Hey, I can actually help you now. And rounding up the top 5 is the number 9 BMW of Jose Mercado in the other GTR outfit. He'll have Mike Marini in the number 12 Audi for company on the outside of row 3. He'll start 6th. As we move on to row 4, we've got the number 97 Toyota of Ty Higginbotham starting in 7th. And then it's the number 2 Ford of Dan Cudmore driving for Winston Racing Group. He starts 8th.
Moving on now, we have the points leader. Maybe not the qualifying position that he wanted, but again, though, 125 laps, 250 miles, plenty of time for him to catch up in this all-out pack racing brawl, quote-unquote. It's the number 32 Chevrolet of Charlie Sears starting 9th, and to round out the top 10, we have the number 15 Toyota of fellow rookie and one of the more aggressive guys here in the field. It is Kyle Knoll. And now moving on to just outside the top 10 with the number 80 Chevrolet of Mark Ouellette coming off a 6th place finish last week at Pocono. Finally, that big break that he needed after weeks on end of poor finishes and not being able to make it to the checkered flag. I think that's his second. Last week was his second race in a row where he was able to finish the race, so great on him. Hopefully that momentum continues. And then there's the number 77 Chevrolet of Hunter Young starting in the 12th position, and to round it all out, making his return, it is a former open wheel champion within the Canadian Motorsports Network, at least on the Formula One side. The number 64 Rolls-Royce of Darcy Ford will start in 13th and the final position. So 13 cars are going to go at it here for the Fontana 250 crown. Are predictions fair to make, or are we just going to just let this happen and see what happens?
I think it might be kind of foolish to predict anything, to be quite honest with you. As you said, we've been building this whole thing on chaos, right? So
it's basically,
I think with that in mind, as you say, just let things happen. Assume the pace car doesn't absolutely decimate the field, and we go to green now.
Indeed. So the green flag is waving. Here we go. We're racing here at Auto Club Speedway for the Fontana 250.
Bahm looking more like a bullet off of that start again, as per usual. But, what you say, Corbin McCauley's right there, not letting him get away.
Well, I mean, McCauley right to the outside, down the back straightaway with that big run. He's going to try and clear himself down to the inside. He eventually will, so the number 17 pulls in front. It looks like he is going to lead the first lap of this Fontana 250. There goes Andy Hurdle to the outside, trying to take on the second position. And he'll go for the first position, too.
I mean, why not? I mean, it's kind of the nature of what they're doing, of course. And, yeah, we're going to see a lot of jockeying, but I think it bears repeating. None of this really matters until we get to lap 125.
A lot of maneuvering, pack racing going on back here. That is Charlie Sears and Mark Ouellette up high. Down low, you got Daniel Cudmore and Kyle Knoll. Almost 3 wide right there going into turn 1.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for... Sorry. Just
good.
Took advantage of the silence there. I was going to say, it'll be interesting to see how Charlie Sears navigates this here because, well, you see him making the move from 9th to 7th here a minute ago. But it'll be interesting to see if he kind of decides to preach patience here in this sort of pack racing environment, or whether or not he tries to get to the head straight away again. Really, the result is only going to matter at the end of lap 125 when we see the checkered flag, but at the same time, if you got fewer cars to navigate, fewer opportunities for things to happen. So Sears, I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of plays it cool somewhere in the middle, so to speak. Speaking of, he's moved up to 6th.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, Sears is already charting his way up from qualifying in 9th. He's now all the way up to even now the 5th position he's going for inside the top 5. He's going to get to the high side of certainly a familiar face if we recall last week's final lap.
Yeah, and that familiar face in an unfamiliar position down in 4th now as Sears continues on, I guess we should call it probably a middle line here. Not right up against the wall, obviously, but, you know, that 32, he's got pace. What a surprise.
And you're starting to get the double file racing that these drivers were expecting here tonight. Andy Hurdle, Corbin McCauley side by side for the race lead. But would you look at this, Charlie Sears is really charging up towards the front. Even Kyle Newell's trying to get a shot up here as well. Mark Ouellette even up high too.
And that's a hell of a start from Knoll, actually. Basically just following Sears' path, really, because that was row 5 on the grid. Sears 9th, Knoll 10th. Now Knoll 3rd, Sears 4th.
A lot of hard chargers here so far. Again, Sears, Knoll, and Ouellette. And then meanwhile, Dylan Bahm has dropped all the way back to the 6th position. Meanwhile, I could see Darcy Ford all the way in the back just kind of letting things go, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't want to let it go too far, though, lest he run the risk of losing the pack itself, because the last thing you want in one of these races is to be in no man's land.
And so they're Corbin McCauley clearing the way there for the top spot. Andy Hurdle, Kyle Knoll going out for second. Hurdle's going to clear there. Ouellette's jumped his way up into the top 5. I think there might have been a bit of a check up there, or just a simple run, as Ouellette's going to go up high. Again, right up against the points leader, going for the 4th position. How about that for the number 80, who, again, as I talked about earlier, the guy just could never be able to finish a race and was always laps down every single time. But he's clearly shown his improvements throughout the season. And I guess no better time than to really prove himself towards the end of the season, try to end it off on a high note.
I mean, I absolutely love seeing this because, again, this is a guy that's, yeah, he kind of made it known that it was something that was sort of new to him, it had to be said. But, you know, he's a guy who's shown that he's dedicated to putting in the work to, you know, generate better results. And, you know, there was some bad luck in there as well in a couple of incidents, but now he seems to be kind of finding his footing. Well, now he's dropped to 7th, but still, the fact that he's in that pack and not out of place, hey, good on the 80 for that.
3 wide racing here for the 2nd position. Kyle Knoll still trying to kind of claim that little hard charger award there. A little bit of jostling back and forth as it was close racing from Charlie Sears. Trying to draft in behind there. They're trying to gain some momentum here on the 17. Mark Ouellette all the way up on the high side, trying to make it 3 wide, multiple different places there. He will, up against Sears. And I think that's Jose Mercado down there on the inside.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, well, my.
Yikes.
Really loose right there was Kyle Knoll in the middle. Oh, Hurdle almost up high into his left rear tire there. He's sliding back in towards the inside. Charlie Sears and Mark Ouellette trying to, I guess you could say, kind of work together there up on the high side, trying to get past all the inside cars. Sears gonna, you know, he was about to pull in down to the inside there, but instead does take the run up high. Still holding firm.
Yeah, and I mean, in that situation, you do have to have a lot of nerve.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, you hear it right in your reaction there, right? These things are pretty much like fighter jets on wheels, effectively. Just, you know, the sheer pace of them and the sheer agility. Like, if you put it even a millimeter off, there is a chance for catastrophe, especially in a racing environment like this one where everyone's going to be bunched up for the most part.
And we all know about number 15 in particular, Kyle Knoll. We know him as a very aggressive driver. I mean, again, though, we do need the drivers with those roles within the network so we can have that diversity between everyone. But again, I do recall, I think, Knoll did show speed back in the NASCAR Series Season 4. That was technically, you know, his rookie season within the Canadian Motorsports Network. He was really fast on the big ovals, and he's proven that here as well. And his aggressiveness so far has been, you know, working, to say the least, as almost 3 wide for the 2nd position, might even be almost for the lead. Mark Ouellette still trying to use that kind of middle to high groove up there. Noel McCauley still kind of remaining low to middle. But as I was saying there, the number 15 really impressing here so far. There's been a lot of races where his aggressiveness has unfortunately been against him. But again, there are times where it does go in favor of him, and so far it's been working out, and hopefully the broadcaster jinx did not happen there.
Yeah, as I said just a minute ago, like, sometimes in these environments, all you have to do is put a wheel wrong and things just go absolutely sideways. But, you know, Knoll, he's holding his nerve here so far again. Started 10th, up in 2nd, and absolutely a threat to Corbin McCauley. But look at Sears try and make a run here.
Indeed, the 32 will. He is side by side. The points leader side by side with the guy who has the 2 wins this season, 2 oval wins this season at Milwaukee and Iowa. It was the second Iowa. Yeah, the 2 Iowa twin 125 winners are both going at it here together. Meanwhile, Mark Ouellette's still trying to find that run up on the high side. Still hasn't been able to achieve it just yet. Kyle Knoll taking advantage of what seems to be a better run there up on the low side. 3 wide for the race lead as Kyle Knoll goes way up high. Almost contact between the 17 and the 32. 15 takes advantage going up to the high side. Ouellette in behind him.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're
oh my gosh!
in for one here tonight. Well, I mean, yeah, just that crossover alone, it was, dicey at best. Looked like something you might have seen out of Top Gun in the 80s. Probably not far away from where they would have filmed that in California, actually.
And Ty Higginbottom's back here. U.S. Air Force.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that is very true. We'll see if he pulls off any Maverick kind of moves here tonight that make us say, wow.
Indeed on the wow, and I have no idea who led that lap right there. It was almost a tie on that lap as we are now 18 laps into the race, now on lap 19 of 125, so this has been certainly zooming by quick, haha. Or we could say soaring because we've been talking about planes.
I was going to say, I don't think we have any Mazdas in the field here tonight, so we can't even say zoom zoom like we could back in the day.
Oh, yeah. But again, so far the number 17 Hurricane E-Motorsports Honda sponsoring Holland College and the Hurricanes, of course, and also Oyster Bed Speedway, where he'll be looking to drive a mini stock there the next racing season in 2024. So far, he has led 19 laps, and
I guess that's your answer of who led the last lap.
Yeah, that's all of them basically right there. So field's kind of laid out now, single file, besides Mark Roulette still remaining up there on the high side, falling back now to the 7th position, might even be to 8th. But so far so good for the number 17, who again, 2 oval wins this season. They both came very recently, of course, and Macaulay coming into this season, he shined whenever we got to the post-race interviews with him, especially it was after the Milwaukee win, he was talking about how the transition from the NASCAR Next Gen to the Dallara IR-01 stock car to open wheel was very tough towards the start of the season, especially on the road courses and the street circuits. But slowly, the luck has been better for him. Obviously, that wasn't the case at Pocono last week, but whenever he does have luck on his side, his raw talent clearly has shown. I mean, again, he's got 2 wins on the ovals. Still has to figure things out on the road courses and the street circuits, which will certainly be interesting for when NASCAR Season 5 happens, because no doubt we will be implementing road courses on the schedule and short tracks as well come then towards the middle of 2024. But again, the 17 has showed steady progression throughout the season. Of course, some unfortunate stuff has happened. But again, so far so good for him, at least here tonight. Just kind of trying to forget about what happened last week when he got loose into turns 1 and 2. The car just went around on him. That's the way he put it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we try to forget about it, and then we just kind of reminded everybody of it. But hey,
yeah.
These are the way things go. But yeah, I mean, he's more than holding his own here. Obviously, jumped out of the gates, made that pass on the back straight of lap 1, and he's been able to hold on ever since. Like, nobody's gonna run away with this thing, as we've been saying. But you know what? It's gonna take probably a masterclass in defending for Corbin McCauley to stay there, especially as the stakes get higher and higher as the race progresses.
Now, I was told that no matter what swinging you do, if you try to defend yourself as the leader, there's probably no way in heck you're going to be able to defend it, because a car will get a slingshot and a run regardless. So if you are leading in this situation with this kind of racing product so far, if you're leading on the final lap and let's say, fingers crossed, most of the field is still remaining, you might not be in the best position. And I could kind of say the same thing about Mark Roulette, who has, again, everyone's kind of filed out single file down on the inside within the past couple laps or so. Roulette on the high side dropping all the way towards the back. Now he is kind of on a run to falling back as far as 11th, so not ideal for the number 80 Koopas Racing Chevrolet. But again,
yeah,
it's only lap 26 of 125. There's still, again, yeah, we're now at 100 laps to go. There's still plenty of time for things to happen. And as I'm saying that, we have a battle again for the race lead. Sears and Macaulay back at it.
We do, and I think Sears might have gotten the lead that time around, at least credited.
That's correct.
Led 1. There you go. But yeah, just to go back to Mark Roulette for a second, everything that we were kind of talking about before. Well, before we get to Roulette, I guess we'll talk about the leader being in kind of an unfortunate spot. We were saying a lot of the same things at Indianapolis, if you recall. where, it was not the ideal position to be. And I mean, the results kind of spoke for itself at that particular point. But yeah, obviously that was a bit of a chaotic finish. But again, going back to Mark Ouellette, who's dropped down to 12th, I think for him, it was just kind of a matter of, figuring out how to kind of get back into that line, so to speak. It might take him falling down to the back. It's not like it's been bad performance. I mean, he's been as high as third in this race to this point.
And on the race summary too.
Finding that line.
Yeah, and on the race summary, he's got the fastest lap and was on lap 2. So I don't know if you could really say anything about that per se, but when we get to the end of this thing, and if he's still there, watch out for this guy to possibly upset, because quite frankly, even whenever I was talking to Corbin before the race here too, he said, like, there could be it's like back the Atlanta race that we had we could even argue all the super speedway races from NASCAR season 4 where literally anyone could win. I mean, we remember the first race again was we had the green flag pit window is the reason why we kind of had an obvious winner happen there. But then both Talladega races, again, as we remember, Hunter Young winning one, then C.D. Magrum won one. And then the second Daytona race, Ty Higginbottom won out of nowhere. And then there was Atlanta where Matthew Paytak won, and no one saw that one coming. So I kind of get the same vibes of something in my gut's telling me this might almost be like the Atlanta race in a way. So there is a chance we could see an unexpected winner, which again, the kind of again goes back to someone like Kyle Knoll, who again, has had an up and down season, but he has shown that, he can run up front. Again, depending on the track and just depending on all kinds of different circumstances. But again, on a big oval here where he clearly showed his talents back in the NASCAR season 4, this right here is a perfect opportunity for him. And then we go back again to Mark Ouellette, who again, so far has the fastest lap thus far. He was running up front in the top 5. And we know Ouellette is pretty good on the ovals. I mean, he came into this series, with that. So, yeah.
For sure he did, and yeah, it'll be, as I say, a matter of who's going to be able to keep their head in those last few laps. Obviously a different dynamic from NASCAR in that there isn't a green-white checkered finish. Here on the DART side of things, I had to catch myself there briefly. But yeah, I mean, very different dynamic at, race end. So if you're in it with, say, 3-4 laps to go, just give her, basically, and yeah, just kind of keep your nerve through any chaos that might happen in front of you, and you're in with a shot. Like Darcy Ford can attest to that from Indianapolis.
Absolutely. As some maneuvers back here, Darcy Ford looking to move his way up into the top 10 past the 77 of Hunter Young. That's the number 64 519 E-Racing Rolls-Royce, sponsored by Wing Snob and Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue. He will slide in behind Young into the 11th position. It is now lap 34, or I guess we're coming to lap 35 now, 125. Corbin McCauley still leading the way over Charlie Sears and Kyle Knoll. I mean, again, no cautions yet, only 2 lead changes. We've had 3 different leaders between McCauley, Sears, and Bahm, I think it was.
Bahm on pole, yeah.
Yeah. And Mark Ouellette's still with that fastest lap.
Indeed, and important to note, obviously, bonus point there for grabbing pole for Dylan Bahm. So effectively a quote-unquote live standings would have that gap down to 32 between himself and Charlie Sears instead of 33. Still a long way to go. Bahm, I'd say, is effectively still in a must-win situation here, especially with Sears right at the head of the field, just to try and minimize any damage that might come. But right now, Sears would be in a position to extend his lead, and he's already grabbed a bonus point for leading a lap here tonight himself. So, he's effectively neutralized that pole position right now. Now you just get it done on the racetrack.
Indeed, so Ouellette just will never bother to use that inside line. He's been using that middle to high group pretty much the entire race. I mean, again, everyone's still kind of packed together, but now it's the farthest separation now is Daniel Cudmore in 13th at 2.3 seconds back. But, I mean, again, everyone's still kind of sticking within the draft together on the inside line, now on lap 38 of 125. Still some battles going on back here towards the back of the field. Darcy Ford, Mike Marini going at it for 8th. And I kind of want to talk about Mike Marini here because I did mention earlier, of course, he's gotten a couple top 5 finishes as of recently, and within the past couple weeks, he hasn't had a finish worse than 7th, which has been incredible consistency from this guy. And I mean, again, too, he was kind of running more towards the 6th to 8th place range, I think it was, at Pocono last week. And then because of that last lap incident, he was able to conquer a 4th place finish. So again, he's getting closer and closer to a potential podium finish somewhere. And again, this guy he's been an underdog all season long, and does make me kind of wonder if he might be able to have a shot to win either tonight or maybe more so at Laguna Seca, because we all, of course, we know him for his experiences, more so a talent on the road course and street circuit side, but again, on the ovals, he has impressed.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like ever since, as you say, the Indy 250, kind of a switch flipped for the number 12 in that particular case. As you say, pretty solid run of form here, it has to be said. And like, if you look at the quote-unquote rating column in the Sim Racer Hub section of the website here, or the Dart Series section of Sim Racer Hub, I should say, out of those races, there are, 4 out of the 6 have registered in triple digits. So solid, clean, consistent runs for the number 12, while, being able to maintain his competitiveness. So yeah, kudos to him.
Oh, here we go. It looks like green flight pit stops are finally getting underway here. That's the number 17 of Corbin McCauley pitting from the race lead. And funny enough, as we were talking about while we were just talking about all that, the charge from the 64 all the way from it was 10th to 1st within the span of maybe 2 laps or something right there. An absolutely incredible charge from the 64, unless maybe it has something to do with this pit window, but again, we'll just have to wait and see.
I'll pull back on the YouTube stream to see if I can find what would have happened. Because, I was just as surprised.
Yeah, I was wanting to talk about it, but we were on a completely different topic there as McCauley, and it was Mark Ouellette that actually joined him. McCauley was not alone, so 17 with a 10.26 second stop. Ouellette at 10.85.
Yeah, my first thought would have been, what if the field was maybe dummying Corbin McCauley into a pit stop, and that's where Ford was able to make up some positions. But watching it back here, no, Ford's just taken kind of the mid to high line, and he's found some pace from what I've seen in terms of his moves.
And again, too, we're heading in under the lights, under the moon here eventually. Night race here at Auto Club Speedway, still 19 degrees track temperature. So, still a lot of grip, of course. And we got 3 more cars coming down the pit lane. Oh, Mark Ouellette, did he get a penalty?
I mean, if he's coming down pit lane again, unfortunately, you'd have to surmise that that's probably his fate.
And along with him, too, would be Sears, Knoll. Both, one pit box apart from each other. That would be the case. Darcy Ford now. Darcy Ford's now made his way down in his very close times between Sears and Knoll. 10.4 for the 32 and then a 10.2 for the 15.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Ford's able to do here. As you say, just made a series of great moves to kind of charge his way up the field. No, he legitimately did that on track.
And I mean, kudos to him on that too.
And I mean, it's funny again. We were talking about
Daniel Cudmore.
Slidey there.
Potential trouble for the number 2. Let's go back and see what happened there. Just entered too fast. Yeah, basically. Slid the tires. Just too fast of an entry.
Yeah, just kind of overshot it. Couldn't hit the mark. And yeah, we'll see what that ultimately does for him here.
We got a whole pack.
We got another pack of pit stops.
Yeah, a whole pack coming down pit road. That would be Magram, Marini, Higginbottom, and Young. Daniel Cudmore now going to finally make it down this time, but no doubt he's going to go a lap down. Like, remain in that case compared to everyone else. Darcy Ford, though, with the 50.5. Wow.
I wonder if maybe he incurred something as well.
Again, these guys going full out throttle here at Auto Club. It's almost as if like you're just not used to the brakes. So I kind of wonder maybe if that may be like a mental or psychological thing that might be happening here.
I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. Like what I was just about to say was I was just about to, again, go back to when you were talking about Mike Marini, because he actually had Darcy Ford right in front of him as he was making that charge up the field. So we actually did get a good look at it. We just didn't realize it at the time.
Basically, so Bahm with a 10.52 as he kind of pitted from the race lead there. Mercado with a 10.57. So very close right there as Cudmore remains in... Oh, geez, did Cudmore incur a penalty too? Gosh.
I mean, yeah, pit stop that length, like, that'd put him near a lap down, you'd have to think.
So Lady Luck
An additional lap down, I mean.
Yeah, Lady Luck just throwing penalties out here to almost everyone as here on lap 40 now, or lap 50 now, 125. Bahm. Certainly his pit stop took advantage of almost everyone else as he is 2.5 seconds ahead of the pack. There's the difference right there. I mean, if we let me see if I can get a decent angle here. If I can, I guess kind of that works.
Yeah, you get a pretty good sense of it there. Ultimately, like, we've seen this play out before. Ultimately, I think, you know, that chase pack will eventually reel him in, kind of like the Peloton does for a breakaway rider at the Tour de France, that kind of a deal. But for now, Dylan Bahm gets to enjoy some clean air. And again, he was the pole sitter. Now he's finally getting to kind of run his own race here a little bit.
I mean, that's literally what we were experiencing in the first half of the Pocono 250 last Tuesday, where Bahm was just, like, completely just sailing away from the field, like, completely going into the distance, as Kyle Knoll nearly assaulted a cone right there.
Well, I mean, he looks like a Montreal Canadiens defender at the moment, so there's that.
Oh, come on.
I mean, it was right there.
Well, no, it's a good thing, though, actually.
I mean, like, it's been a month since I've been able to fully participate. I've got some pent-up stuff here.
And you know what? Funny enough, as I was just talking about Bahm just getting away from the field, it looks like he's doing the exact same thing here, even though... we got off this angle here. You got a whole pack right here going down the back stretch, and then look at Bahm just chilling.
Yeah, I say, he went through a stretch of this at Indianapolis as well. And,
true.
You know, that didn't exactly work out in his favor. That turn 4 last lap collision where he looks like he may well have been in kind of the catbird seat there in like second or third, being able to make the move on, you know, kind of a lame duck leader going into the last lap, so to speak, which is what we've talked about as a possibility here tonight.
But yeah, with Bahm just kind of just gone right there, it's pretty much Charlie Sears, Kyle Knoll, Andy Hurdle, Corbin McCauley, Magram, Marini, Hunter Young, and Ty Higginbottom all in a pack together. Jose Mercado and that would be Daniel Cudmore together going into turn 1. Wow, I think something might have happened there with Sears, or maybe Kyle Knoll just making a bunch of aggressive moves as he's going to get past Sears for the second position and maybe try to, instead of Sears leading the pack with Knoll now leading the way, maybe that might help everyone catch up to Dylan Bahm, as I was saying earlier too. Darcy Ford and Mark Ouellette are here together, 1 lap down in the 11th position, pretty much. I guess, is Lucky Dog a thing in this series?
I mean, you'd have a better handle on rules than I would. But
I need
right
to
now,
look at the handbook a lot more, honestly.
You do, and well, I mean, I'm no better, but right now, find some wood to knock on because nothing's happened yet.
Daniel Cudmore 2 laps down in 13th. So again, Bahm just kind of doing his own thing as Noel continues to lead the pack right here in the 2nd position. But as this is all happening, might as well go ahead and just shout out some of the sponsors of the Canadian Motorsports Network here, and for at least the Dart Series here on iRacing Season 2. Holland Hurricanes, Kyle's Fried Chicken, Rampage Coffee Co., GTR, T-Man sponsor, TrackCams22.com, who provides us, of course, with these professional-looking broadcast cameras. Okay, so just got word there is no Lucky Dog, so appreciate the clarification there from a driver. But as I was saying, TrackCams22.com, they provide us with these professional-looking broadcast cameras. It's been the reason why our live productions have truly gone up in quality ever since Season 4 of NASCAR, so we greatly appreciate them for providing us with these cameras, particularly on the more on the ovals. And then, of course, Piping Kettle Soup Co. and GSGSG Vinyl 3D. So thank you to all the sponsors and partners that are with us here within the Canadian Motorsports Network. We do greatly appreciate your support. Without you, certainly wouldn't be as much going on here within the network. And another little thing I might as well shout out too, something interesting, some announcement apparently going to be made tomorrow, and I kind of wonder if I know the number 10 of Jason Butler's not racing tonight, and then there's the announcement tomorrow. I mean, probably no correlation there, but yeah, something apparently is up for tomorrow, and yeah, no one knows.
Yeah,
apparently.
Keep an eye on social media for all that. Yeah, I'm very much in the dark on all of this as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that kind of next step is, for lack of a better term, or what's coming down the pipeline.
And it'll certainly be interesting to see what does come down the pipeline. Should know, too, that whatever is announced, if it is going to be a new league heading into the new year, then should clarify that tonight and also next Tuesday night will more than likely be the final broadcast, final live broadcast that we do have within the network for at least the next little while, unless we do have our little special events every now and then. Depends on what our schedules look like and everything. But yes, tonight and tomorrow night, and then for some time, a bit of a holiday break, bit of a winter break as well. I think, Jordy, I think you and I definitely do, after these 2 races here, deserve we deserve a well-needed break.
It's been a bit of a long go, certainly.
Yes.
And, trying to make these things happen remotely just kind of adds to the chaos of everything that we're trying to do. And, somehow we've made it work, the last month notwithstanding in my case. But I guess one of those weeks we weren't live either, so I don't feel as bad.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been a little bit since we've been able to get into this particular pocket, the 2 of us here.
Absolutely, but there is no doubt that we will be back at it in a couple months' time whenever NASCAR Season 5 does get announced and does get underway. We will certainly be there for that, knowing how the first NASCAR season, on at least in the iRacing era, went. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely historical, and it's what truly was able to really enhance our live broadcasts here within the network after all the hellish days of console gaming.
Yeah, in hindsight, that wasn't... I mean, there was times where it was fun, but I like having information.
Yeah. It's basically just swap. You just go, okay, you go to this car, then you go to this car, and then you'd have to hear in your headphones, you'd be like, okay, who's leading, who's laps down, what lap is it, is the stage coming to an end yet, oh, is this the white flag, checker flag, oh my gosh.
Yeah, there was a lot of pretending to know what was going on.
But at least we can forget about all that, put it in the past. Even you literally were talking to me earlier too. I'm talking about drivers trying to forget things, and yet I'm literally reminding them of I'm reminding everyone of what happened. So I'm not doing a great job at that, but just can throw that all the way in the trash and forget it all in the past, because we can just now realize how far we've come. And as I'm saying all that, we are getting a couple battles going on here in this pack behind the again, like over 2.5 seconds behind the leader, lap 67 at 125. Charlie Sears now leading the pack as Andy Hurdle and Kyle Noll are going at it for the third position. Noll did almost fall back to as far as beside McCauley here for fifth, but he's hanging on to himself here. Some aggressive driving going on there, though, as he's trying to squeeze in behind Sears and Hurdle. He will be able to. But again, this pack still hasn't been able to find anything to catch up to Dylan Bahm.
Yeah, and like, there's no doubt that Dylan Bahm's fast. I think you'd have to be, like Stevie Wonder not to see that. But honestly, the fact that gap has been pretty well maintained by Dylan Bahm here, again, that just speaks to the raw pace in that number 3, because the drivers in that secondary pack, they've got some speed too. They've got plenty of it, as a matter of fact. And the fact that they haven't really pulled them in yet, it's again a testament to what the number 3 is capable of, because I'm not necessarily sure. In fact, you can tell by the moves and the battles in that secondary pack, there isn't a whole lot of being conservative there.
So still 2.8 seconds separating Bahm and the pack. Hasn't really changed a whole lot within the past 5-10 laps or so, but we are now officially past the halfway point for the first annual Fontana DART 250 here, as Kyle Noll and Charlie Sears still going at it for the top spot, at least in the pack. So that'd be second. Noll, Sears, and Hurdle, your top 3 within that pack. Jose Mercado remains the last car on the lead lap in 10th. Mark Ouellette and Darcy Ford in that pack together at 1 lap down. Daniel Cudmore behind Mercado, but 2 laps down. Weather info has still remained the same at 19 degrees for the track temperature. Race summary, no cautions yet. 5 lead changes, 4 different leaders. Corbin McCauley now with the fastest lap of a 29.737 on lap 46, 242 miles per hour. Meanwhile, these two right here are still going at it for that second position in the pack. I would be hoping that that's not causing them to fall back more and more behind Dylan Bahm, although it is kind of looking like it, but even when they do get single file, just not able to find anything. I mean, there still is plenty of time left for things to happen, but kind of surprising to see here.
It is, and I wouldn't be surprised if that one green flag pit stop, I wouldn't be surprised if that's it for tonight, because we've seen, a lot of races in recent weeks. They've literally only had that one stop, and, these tires have lasted, significantly longer than expected. And, with cooler track temperatures, I wouldn't be surprised if, there's an added durability benefit, in there as well. So it might just be kind of go with what you've got at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember back at the second of the Iowa Twin 125s at Iowa Speedway a couple weeks back. I remember that final green flag pit window. CD Magram and Ty Higginbotham both chose not to pit because they would make it to the end. And again, too, they were part of the top 4. The top 4 were all in the lead lap. Everyone else was I think everyone else was 2 or more laps down, so they could go all the way to the end if they wanted to. They didn't have to bother with the tires, and they actually, with Dylan Bahm and Corbin McCauley charging fast at them with much fresher tires, they actually almost did beat them coming to 2 laps to go. But then, unfortunately, they did get a bit of the jump. I think the top 4 order was Macaulay won, and then there was one of the guys that didn't pit. Then there was Bahm, and then there was another guy that didn't pit. So kind of some back and forth there. But again, they came close. Not the win, but they did certainly come close. As Sears is starting to drop back now towards, looks to be the 5th position on the high side. Macaulay jumping up to 4th. Knowles 2nd, Hurdle 3rd.
Yeah, might just be a matter of, taking some of the pressure or the heat off of the front of that number 32, if we're going to be honest. Just let someone else lead for a little bit. Again, it's where you're positioned at the end of lap 125. That's literally all that matters right now. Right now, just kind of like 60% of the way through the race, somewhere thereabouts. Yeah, you can just kind of jockey, just kind of keep it safe as much as anything else. Although, as we say that, Sears has moved back up to 3rd. But yeah, ultimately, I've said it a couple times, it bears repeating. It's where you are at the end of the counts.
I mean, Sears right back up anyways. It's like nothing ever happened as he's going right back at it again for that 2nd position on lap 78 now.
And took it with ease.
Indeed he did.
Although in saying that, giving it right back.
Indeed, they're just flipping back and forth here as now it has turned into a 5-car kind of a pack as a kind of separation there. Not really, as I'm literally saying that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pretty single file there for the most part, or at least it was.
Jeez, we both got jinxed there.
A little bit.
And it seems like the gap has kind of shrunken now. It was at 2.7 at one point. Now it's 2.5. And back to 2.6. Yeah, in a way. Still some time, but oh my goodness gracious, we got aggressive driving going on there for the 2nd position. Knoll swaps to the high side, Sears to the inside. 32 will clear the way. And now Andy Hurdle's going to try and take advantage on the inside. So will the 17 of Corbin Macaulay. And so Knoll will drop in to 3rd. And then as I say that, he's just going to get a run anyways and go right back up to that 2nd position. My goodness.
Well, again, it might just be a matter of, making sure everything's good on kind of the aero side. Make sure not everything's overheating. Because, I mean, again, pulling the rest of that pack, it adds a little bit of a toll to those cars, it has to be said.
They just continue to swing back and forth down the back straightaway now in lap 82 of 125. I do the math. I believe we are getting closer and closer to 40 laps remaining in the Fontana 250. Again, you're kind of saying the baby steps just kind of continuing on and on. Like 2.6, 2.4. Just kind of keeps bouncing back and forth. And again, you can see them right there. In behind, the baby steps still happening. But I do wonder if maybe they might come down pit road maybe one more time, or we might just be sailing all the way, and it's just kind of the 2nd packer is just going to keep their fingers crossed that they will be able to catch up to the number 3. Who, again, if we go back to the 17, 39 laps led, Bahm's at 38. Only 2 more laps, and he'll have the most. It'd be 2 weeks in a row unless, again, catastrophes start to happen, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the point for most laps led in the race is going to be significantly important to Dylan Bahm as well. And if he's able to hold on for another 25 4 laps, I believe it is, to get him to 63. No one will be able to challenge him at that point. So if he can grab that 1 extra point, again, just to help his cause that little bit more, as we've got a pit stop.
Mark Ouellette has come down pit road. I don't know if that might be the tall tale sign of something. Already 1 lap down. Oh, okay. I was wondering, were we going to get another green flag pit window? As a matter of fact, we do.
Okay, showtime. Sears and Knoll in. You have to recall, I believe Bahm was one of the later pit stops in the first round.
Yeah, he was.
So
yeah, he was.
He should be able to get a couple more laps out there before he comes in. So ultimately, he might still be in the driver's seat here after this round of pit stops because A, he's already built up that time. B, if it goes similarly to how it did in the first round, he'll have a couple laps worth of fresher tires too.
Indeed. So Knoll with actually a faster pit stop time than Sears, although again with how much they've been jockeying back and forth throughout the race, there's no doubt that... Or Knoll was faster than that. Sears came out... okay then, never mind. But anyways, they're probably just going to get back together and just continue going at it back and forth. But yeah, I think what I recall was Bahm was leading, then he pitted, and then he never really lost it anyways. I think that's how it went. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but lap 88. Yeah, lap 88 of what? Yeah, literally, I was just saying about Knoll and Sears. They're just right back together anyways. Knoll just takes the position anyways, but again, still plenty of pit stops. More than likely, plenty of pit stops still left to go. Sears leading the way over Knoll. And then Knoll goes to the inside as I say that, so I'm just never going to say anything ever again.
But yeah, right now it's just those two battling because obviously they've left the rest of the pack behind in the name of making those earlier pit stops. So a little more room to work with is what I'm getting at. Is that McCauley in?
That's McCauley now down the pit lane. So again, based on what we saw of the first green flag pit window, this time around, drivers just got to make sure that they don't speed because it appears that a bunch of that happened during that first window. I believe like guys like Darcy Ford, Daniel Cudmore, even Mark Ouellette all suffered something like that. In with McCauley.
Yeah, there were definitely some extended stops.
Yeah, so Bahm makes his way down. McCauley too. Mercado on the pit lane. Ford had a 9.67 when he pitted. There goes Bahm with a 9.40. McCauley with a 10.4. Jose Mercado with a 10.4 as well. Slightly faster than McCauley.
All right, looks like things have gotten a little cleaner that second round of pit stops. Guys maybe getting a little bit wiser this time around. And yeah, basically all eyes on the rest of this pack, although another pit stop will change that.
So Andy Hurdle will pit from the Andy Hurdle will pit from the race. How'd that sound on your end?
It sounded like a guy who absolutely wanted to be part of this.
Anyways, Andy Hurdle pits from the race. Are you doing okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just happy that you're embracing, the darkness of Auto Club right now and deciding to catch some Z's.
Yeah, I definitely need sleep after this one, that's for sure. No, not because the race is... I'm not saying the race is boring. That's not what I'm saying. No, don't fire me. Anyways, Andy Hurdle pitted from the race lead there. Pit stop time's completely gone. I completely missed out on that. There's another pack coming down. That's Magram, Marini, and Higginbottom down the pit lane on lap 93 of 125. So it'll be 30 laps to go within another couple laps. Magram with a 7.8 fast stop for him. Marini 9.4, Young at a 9.9, Ty at a 10.
Yeah, I wonder if Magram might have taken a second and a half less worth of fuel there, or whatever metric to maybe make up a little bit of a gap in pit lane, maybe try and stretch it out a little bit here at the end, but we'll see how it all works out, as it seems like things have kind of stabilized again. And yeah, Dylan Bahm maintaining that gap pretty much that he had pre-pit window.
So based on how everyone's positioned right now, Bahm leads the way by 2.5 seconds. Then there's CD Magrum all alone there. And then over 2 seconds back would be this other pack here. They're racing 3 wide. Macaulay, Knoll, and Sears all going at it within this pack. Macaulay right in behind the 7 as they're going to try and go 3 wide here for a position. That's, again, Knoll and Sears right there. Hunter Young almost sliding up the racetrack into the 32. But they're really going at it with double file action here. Oh my gosh, Knoll squeezing through the middle to make it 3 wide. Macaulay has to go all the way up high. He's going to drop in back as Hunter Young's now going to start to take advantage. He'll go and take advantage, make it 3 wide. Really kind of wishing this was for the race lead.
I mean, again, we talked about how crazy some of these races could get, and you just mentioned Hunter Young. You remember how he won at Talladega, right?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so it would be, we talked about surprise winners. If he's able to hold his head and kind of keep his nose in this, you know, if they're able to catch up to, you know, that top 2, I guess, because there's separation from Mangrum to this chase pack here as well. But, you know, I'll keep everybody awake as we do this. I mean, I've got my eyes wide open as I'm watching this. And yeah,
oh my gosh, I think Marini really loose down there on the inside with the 17 in behind. Kyle Knoll up high. Oh, Marini almost slid up right there, causing Knoll to slide up too. Oh, I mean, would you look at that? The gap is starting to shrink right there between Magrum and the pack. And the funny thing is, too, Magrum's starting to catch up to Bahm as well.
Well, this is happening a little bit later than maybe we expected, but I mean, this is something that I kind of telegraphed a little bit earlier in the second stint, that it feels like everyone's going to come back together here at the very end, and I think we're going to have to probably have a wow counter by the end of this. Man, it was 4.
Whoa, contact! That was Marini and Knoll getting together there through turns 3 and 4. They're still going. Got a really close-up angle of that one right there. It's amazing how nothing's happened, because this pack's been going absolutely wild. Like, you see Bahm, Magrum there, and then you got a whole pack just staring them down.
Well, I was about to say, like, right before the contact, it looked like there was a point where it was actually 4 wide, which was going to be absolutely bananas. But yeah, ultimately, you know, things could only go on for so long, but it seems like this pack has kind of stabilized itself, and we'll see if Corbin McCauley can drag this group of 6 or 7 drivers back into contention.
I mean, yeah, that gap is ever so slightly shrinking. Baby steps for Magrum, now 2 seconds behind. It was about 2.5 a couple laps ago. And then this whole pack is just trying their hardest to storm them down. And now we're going to be at 24 laps to go in this first annual Fontana 250. So, will they? Again, there's baby steps. They are catching them, but is it going to be enough time? Or will this pack, just based on how they were racing there a couple laps ago, could maybe contact happen again and maybe cause these guys to have to pack it back together?
Well, if or when they catch up to CD Mangrum there in second, again, he's kind of running his own race right now too. Not really close to Dylan Bahm, and he's got clean air between himself and this chase pack. So Mangrum, he could be ripe for the picking, and if he gets absorbed into this group, then that's just a little bit of added firepower, so to speak, as everyone tries to track down the three. But yeah, this is 3 through 9 we're looking at on track here, it appears. So a 7-car pack ultimately trying to chase down our top 2.
Now it's at 1.7. It's dropping down to 1.6. 4 seconds back is the pack behind Bahm. It's just at this point, it's now pretty much a game of patience.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still, gaps to make up on the track to make it happen. Like 4 seconds over 20 laps. There's going to have to be a bit of a fall off, I think, for this group to really catch up, or perhaps a mistake from the 3. And again, they still have to navigate or absorb CD Mangrum first as well. And he's going to put up a significant fight because he's been a model of consistency for the majority of the season as well.
Indeed so, as now we're at 20, or at least we're coming in. Yeah, I guess it'll be now 20 laps to go. Or nope, never mind, I was wondering. It's 19 laps to go in tonight's event. Oh my gosh, Charlie Sears really close up against Mike Marini there, going through turns 1 and 2. Kyle Knoll right in behind Sears. These guys trying to take advantage of Macaulay and Marini up on the high side. Again, track temperature hasn't changed one bit. That grip is still there, but at the same time, everyone's pretty close. There's been a couple moments of contact, of course. Kyle Knoll tried to make it 3 wide up against Sears and Marini for the 4th position. And would you look at this, now it's almost a second separating the 3 and the 1, and then you got this pack 3.5 seconds back charging them down.
All right, here we go. This one isn't over yet, folks. Although, did someone just get kind of shoved high there? Sears, perhaps?
Maybe, because of Marini and then Andy Hurdle. Yeah, Andy Hurdle and Sears are getting really close there, too. And it's just, yeah, I'm getting those vibes from that one Talladega race in NASCAR Season 4. Hunter Young and Ty Higginbottom, also to the second Daytona race as well. 2 former Super Speedway winners in the NASCAR Series from Season 4 are just trailing in behind all these guys. Man, if one of them was able to pull something off here, if this pack is able to eventually catch up to Dylan Bahm and CD Mangrum, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we could well be looking at a 9-car shootout here in the next, what is it, 15 laps remaining?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll call it the next 10 laps. We'll see this group come together potentially. So maybe a 5-lap shootout, especially, well, assuming nothing else goes down. If everything stays clean, knock on wood so many times for that. As, we're 3 wide as that's happening. Good God.
Oh my gosh!
4 wide almost.
Almost 4, yeah. Oh my gosh, Sears and Macaulay almost side by side. And the funny thing is, too, the top 2 are right close together, and then we have to also focus on what's happening back here. So, like, oh my goodness. If only we had, like, what NBC has for NASCAR, where it's all the multiple camera angles, but we can't do that. We don't have that ability here. Unfortunately, we're not there just yet, so, my gosh, where do we focus?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that they will have to keep an eye on is they'll also have to navigate lap traffic in the form of Mark Ouellette. If you saw when we went to Bahm and Mangrum a moment ago, they were making their way past the 80s. So this entire group's going to have to do that as well and do it cleanly if they want to have a shot.
Absolutely. I mean, did you look at this? A second, almost 2 tenths separating The number 3 and the number 1 as we are quickly approaching 10 laps to go. You see them down the backstretch. There's the pack in behind. Just under 4 seconds back. Again, all that side-by-side racing, I don't know if that's going to help them at all. Maybe they're hoping that maybe the 1 and the 3 will get together here as they're heading down the front stretch.
Yeah, it's kind of counterproductive right now for that chase group.
I mean, I guess we could kind of look at this potential storyline. Mike Marini in the 3rd position. This guy has not been able to achieve a podium finish yet this season, but the momentum that he's had within the past 7 weeks, that momentum is clearly favoring him right now. As we saw back there, the 15 of Kyle Knoll really getting loose, and it's caused him to fall back in here behind Sears, McCauley, and Hunter Young as they're 3 wide. Right there, McCauley and Sears almost making contact.
Well, it was Sears that Knoll nearly got up into as he kind of darted off of the racing line there for a little bit.
Oh, Sears using the apron down the backstretch to get past Marini. He's going to slide up the racetrack and take the 3rd position, but because of that, Marini and Hurdle are going to have a huge run here down the front straightaway. Meanwhile, the 3 and the 1, they're close. Not too close enough yet as we are now at 10 laps to go.
Yeah, this one, you know, there's still the potential for some drama here, especially now that we've got 2 at the head of the field as opposed to just Bahm running away with it. Again, we kind of telegraphed that a little bit as we're 4 wide here.
4
Good
wide racing. There's Kyle Knoll dove down to the inside, and just like that, kind of right back to single file action as that panned out, but never mind, as I'm saying that, Charlie Sears and Corbin McCauley both to sides. Oh, there's contact! Marini goes up the track. Big crash, turn 1.
No.
Upside down is Andy Hurdle sliding down the racetrack in turn 2.
I mean, the way they were all darting back and forth, it almost felt like something had to happen, quite honestly, and given iRacing's tendency to do, say, somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 laps for cautions, we're looking at a 4 or 5 lap shootout here with everybody coming together.
I was really wondering if at any point any of that pack racing we saw within like that the last like 20, 30 laps or whatever, at some point a bomb, there was a ticking time bomb the whole time, and indeed there was. It finally exploded. And my goodness, a bunch of drivers with a lot of momentum, especially from past weeks, get collected in that one. So we're going to replay what happened there. We're going to go sometime back just to kind of get a bit of a preview from beforehand.
Yeah, so Marini, he's comfortable. Is that Sears diving down on the apron?
That is indeed Sears, yes.
So Sears moves up into 3rd. Marini goes to take the inside line. And yeah, everything seems pretty ship-shape here right now. Ultimately, it's Marini who does get collected, but by who? There's still a little bit of a ways to go, I think. As, yeah, we get into the 4 wide section here. And yeah, is that Marini and Sears on the touch? I think it is, but Marini gets the worst of it. And yeah, just basically front wing straight into Kyle Knoll there, it looked like.
Hang on a second here. I'm trying to do this the best I can.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this will kind of give us a decent idea. So Sears goes up high. Marini's hanging onto his line. Sears does come down. Marini may have come up a tad. But my gosh, what a wicked crash.
Yeah, that's the one that sends hurdling, for lack of a better term. And yeah, I feel like the applause we may have just seen is going to be very sarcastic. But yeah, showtime. Because this one, once we kind of get everybody reset, again, it's just going to be a mad dash from here.
I'm trying to go back here just one more time. There we go. That's a lot better. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, Hurdle's just kind of a passenger at that point.
Basically.
1 to green, we're being told. So maybe Ixnay on the replay.
Yeah, I will certainly do that as a wicked crash right there. And yes, indeed, 1 to green. And as we turn the ticker back on, it's going to be, yep, you were kind of saying there, yeah, it's going to be a 5-lap shootout to solve this one. And again, kind of going back to the pit lane here, Andy Hurdle pretty much out of the race. I mean, Marini and Kyle Knoll pretty much out as well. So kind of gets us down to 10 cars, or 7, counting only lead lap cars. So it'll be Dylan Bahm, C.D. Magram, Corbin McCauley, Hunter Young, Ty Higginbottom, Jose Mercado, and Charlie Sears on the lead lap. Sears is still going to have to get past, I believe he may have just pitted there, actually. So he'll have to get past Ford, Ouellette, Cudmore. He'll probably do that with ease. But he'll have some challenges in front of him, some hurdles in front of him to get past. I mean, if we go to the laps since last pit, yeah, Sears just pitted. So actually, I do kind of wonder if that might give him a potential tire advantage here. But again, 5 laps, don't know if that's going to be quote-unquote enough. But we're going to have to wait and see here. Will the number 3 be able to hang on over everyone else, even the number 1 as well? Because those two were pretty much separated there during that last run. So here we go. 5 laps to go in the Fontana DART 250, the first annual one here within the DART series on iRacing. The green flag is out, and already Charlie Sears trying to make his way past these lap cars to join everyone here up front. There goes C.D. Magram. He tried to go to the outside there. 1 point. No, it's going to be the 17 instead, going up to the high side. He's going to clear the way. He will take the lead.
Yeah, and that could be huge. That could potentially do some significant damage to Dylan Bahm's championship chances if he can't get past and get those 10 additional points for the win.
Indeed, if Bahm were able to get the win, Sears is not able to catch up. He's still back here in 7th. If there's no time for that, then that could seriously do wonders in the points. As, oh my gosh, would you look at this? Hunter Young, Ty Higginbottom at the track. Could we go 4 wide for the race lead? That's not going to happen just yet. But oh my gosh, Hunter Young, could this guy potentially shock everyone here and upset for the victories? The 17 and the 3 continue to battle side by side for the race lead. But here comes C.D. Magram. Contact!
Yeah, they got to be careful here on this, because at this point, if there's a caution, that's going to end it. So yeah, you got to be just on that razor's edge of being aggressive, but knowing where you are on the track.
Oh my gosh. Jose Mercado's up here too. Ty Higginbottom trying to make it 3 wide for the race lead. Up on the high side. It's a 6-car logjam. They're going to go 3 wide for second place. Not just yet for the first position. 17 still hanging on. Mercado up to second. Bob's falling back.
We've said pretty much nothing about Jose Mercado here tonight, and suddenly he finds himself right in the heat of it. But look at Higginbotham go.
Higginbottom on the high side. He's going to go side by side for the first position. Not anymore. It's actually going to be for second now. Hunter Young really sliding up right there. There's the white flag. 1 lap to go. Jose Mercado trying to make it up high. 17's going to block. Oh my gosh.
Wow, look at this group go. Any one of these 6 still very much.
Wow, the 17 with a huge block on the 9 there. He's going to maintain his spot on the inside. 3 wide for the lead. Here comes C.D. Magram.
Yeah, the 9's inside though. Mercado's leading.
Who's going to have to run? Big block. Wow. They're all going to crash. They're all crashing.
Oh, no.
Higginbottom's going to slide across the line. Oh my gosh.
I think Higginbotham just slid across the line.
Higginbottom stole it. And they're all crashed. What just happened?
He just barely slid across the line, denied Charlie Sears the victory by what, 1/100th of a second? Is that what that says?
0.026 looks to be the gap.
Yeah, so 3/100ths of a second.
Yeah, yes.
Sears coming through at full speed. Higginbotham just barely survives. Yeah, no shit, iRacing. Caution.
And it's a graveyard of cars at the start-finish line. The 97 somehow won that. Are you kidding me?
Have fun getting that podium picture.
No, honestly, the podium, honestly, just take a picture of this and that's it. That just defines everything.
For better or for worse, yeah. That was absolutely bananas at the end. Yeah, we may as well just do the full final lap, honestly.
Yeah, we're pretty much going to do that right here. And I think Higginbotham even was in the fence, and yet he still crossed the line. What the hell?
I mean, any way to build up momentum, I guess. Yeah, Higgy's 5th at this point, so he's in prime position to get collected as, yeah, Mercado off of that block from Macaulay. But again, he had the benefit of, like, that ultimately sent him down on the inside. He was in position to win until right there.
Okay, someone else got in the fence, but look at this. Oh my gosh.
Oh, man. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, there's Macaulay. Yeah, Higginbotham just barely enough momentum.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this one you classify as so stupid it's hilarious.
Yeah, basically. It's like the Sharknado movies. They're so bad, they're good.
Almost, you know?
I'm trying to...
I mean, hey, those eyes are a meme. That driver cam you just had, that is a meme. Like, are you kidding me right now?
That right there, that's it. How on earth did a damaged car sliding across the line beat a full speed points leader?
Well, I mean, I wonder if it's hilarious to say now, but I wonder if that pit stop made the difference. Like, in terms of Sears trying to navigate his way through, as, yeah, we'll get his angle of, you know, that. And, yeah, just... yeah, that's...
And, like, we'll get this angle, too, if it ends up going to what I hope it does. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, just... Whee! Well,
hopefully...
there's that little extra momentum. I think Mangrum may have, as he lifted
Oh,
Higginbotham,
Jesus.
might have given him a push.
Just look at this. How did Daniel Cudmore get in that? What in the hell?
Yeah, that's maybe not the finest hour, but it's hilarious. Yeah, that's yeah. There's not much more to. Well, I mean, wow.
Yeah, wow. Jesus Christ. Sorry for the religious language there, but good lord. And look at Ford Newlet. Oh,
and then you follow up with good lord. Nice.
We have lost all professionalism here.
Do you remember the Speed TV show Dumbest Stuff on Wheels?
That thing keeps replaying on Fox Sports Racing every damn truck race.
So this is like the best possible version of Dumbest Stuff on Wheels.
Yes.
That is one of the craziest things I have ever seen. I mean, the laugh pretty much says it all.
Oh.
Like, who's going to stick around for the podium? I guess, yeah, Sears is technically...
Oh, they're all gone now. I guess the tow truck somehow got them all away.
Man, that is a fast tow truck.
Oh, my...
I mean, what do you say to that?
We just go into the unofficial results because at this, yeah, and even the unofficial results are confused because all the numbers are all over the freaking place. But so yeah, somehow the number 97 U.S. Air Force Toyota, who tried to use another car to take off, the number 97 Toyota Ty Higginbottom pulls off the unbelievable with that'd be his first career, or no. Would be second. Is it first?
Second.
It'd be second career Dart Series victory. First one of this season, of course. Charlie Sears pulling off the second place finish at full speed versus I. Oh my God, I've lost all brain cells. CD Magram does round out the podium in the third place position somehow.
Try it.
Like I said, I was losing brain cells. Corbin McCauley is. It shows he's not in fifth, but it says he's fifth, so he rounds out the top five, even though his car went for a completely wild ride. Dylan Bahm will hold on to the to a sixth place finish. Darcy Ford seventh, Jose Mercado eighth, Daniel Cudmore ninth, Mark Ouellette in 10th, and around it all out, we have Andy Hurdle. Oh, Andy Hurdle 12th. Oh yeah, no, he was involved in the earlier crash. Never mind. Mike Marini. Yeah, Kyle Knoll 11th, Andy Hurdle 12th, and then Mike Marini rounds out the entire field in the 13th place position. And now I might as well...
I mean, like, yeah, I know it hasn't fully filled up the screen, but you get the point. There. That's better.
I don't think we even need to
save it.
I don't think we even need to describe like a post-race show or anything. It's just throw out everything we have when we already have.
We had a feeling it was going to be like that, though.
Yeah.
And largely, you know, everything that you said pre-race, like, don't do anything stupid in the opening corners, they largely did that. Just the last 10 laps were... you know, where the crazy stuff happened.
If you're looking behind the scene, all the behind the scenes chats, yeah, Corbin's saying the greatest finish in this league's history.
And he got caught up in the accident, and like for him to be saying that never happens.
Well, for how his season has gone, I don't think at this point he really cares.
Yeah, no, that's also fair. But yeah, like, what do you even say to something like that? Like, I would definitely be clipping this.
Yes, we gotta tag iRacing as much as possible, and just make damn sure that we get this on a highlight reel somewhere. Because honestly, if we can make this viral, I think this is gonna shoot us up numbers. I'm being serious.
So the hilarious part of this, I'm looking at one of the screenshots that I think Kyle Knoll took post-race.
Yeah.
The irony of Ty Higginbotham's rear wing saying aim high. He was launched briefly.
Yes.
And I mean, he couldn't get much higher on the board. Like, you know, somehow he pulled off the win. Like, seriously, I'm going to put that freeze frame up here on my feed just to give the context, because I mean, how many times did we look at that replay? This is just getting stranger and stranger, but not in the controversial sense this time. But you get to enjoy Owen Wilson for another minute or two.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, as we're we're talking about all this, again, some messages here from all interviews, please wait outside of the infield care center. Yeah, especially for Higginbottom. It seems like Higginbottom has finally exited out. He just talking to me here, trying to hop in for this post-race winner interview, which, by the way, I would assume if it's on Discord, you are staying here. I don't care what
I think I have to.
Yeah,
right?
you have to. You have to. Just wondering whether...
There's the shot that Noel got.
Oh, my gosh.
Who do you think won that one? Yeah, who do you
Daniel,
think's the race
you know what,
winner?
Daniel Cudmore, if you are listening to this, right, if you're still watching this or whatever, listen to this, whatever, for the love of God, clip that finish, put it out on our pages, and attach that photo. I'd also figure out a way to get that face in there from earlier, maybe even like just and get our comment and get our little funny commentary moments. Just put that into a whole like highlight video and just or maybe you'll rely on me to do that. I don't know, but just we got to get something. We got to get something out there because
that one defies all logic. In the most hilarious and amazing way possible.
You know, we were talking about how the last race for the real life series to happen at Auto Club being arguably one of the greatest, arguably being America's greatest open wheel race of all. There's Owen Wilson again. Open wheel race of all time. Did we just beat that virtually?
Yeah, I mean, I still have nothing right now. Like, what the hell are we gonna talk? Well, I know one of the things we're gonna talk about, but
yeah. Yeah. So with all that being said, now we have a certain guy in particular here. Now, I want to join this. We'll get to you in a second. Hang on. I want to be on camera. We'll get you in a second. Hang on. So Ty Higginbottom has joined the Discord voice chat. I'm gonna stay on our faces for this one, just for comedy purposes. Well,
speaking of faces, I'm gonna try and find the face from the YouTube stream.
Okay,
pull that in.
I'll get him into here. Okay, Ty Higginbottom. So we are live. I'm going right into this live just because I have to. I'm not going to wait any long for this just because of what the hell just happened. Which I'm going to ask you that. What the hell just happened?
Regan, if I could give you an answer on to what in the world I just went through, I wish I could. There's just no answer for that. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, you flew up in the air. I mean, again, it says aim high. It's like Jordy was saying. It says aim high right on the back of your car. You're sponsoring U.S. Air Force. It's like, again, you're just like one of those jets. You aim high, you shoot off a car, and yet you still slide across the line, and you beat a car going at full speed. It was the freaking points leader. My gosh, and it's been a while too since you've gotten a win here within the darts series, so that must definitely be a relief. But certainly not the way you're expecting that. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not the way I was going to expect that to happen. I mean, if I was to get my first win in a dart series with an Air Force themed car, might as well do it by passing Mangrum over top his car and getting in the air for it, right?
That's Top Gun level stuff there, Higgy. Wait, I think I'm muted in the Discord.
Jordy, you gotta unmute yourself in the Discord as well.
There we go. Yeah, so Top Gun level stuff there.
Oh, whoa. Hang on. Okay. Don't talk for a second. You gotta mute yourself in the control room. Keep yourself unmuted in Discord. Because you're echoing.
Got it.
Yeah, there we go. We're all good now. Go ahead, Jordy. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Oh no, well, I mean, now you've heard it 3 times. Yeah, just like again, fitting that it's Air Force because that was Top Gun level stuff with the trajectory on that.
Yeah, I'm still speechless. Like I don't really know what to say. I mean, it was quite the show. I mean, I'm just lost for words. So just ask me another question.
Well, we just got a little bit of context from the group chat. I don't know if you saw it there, Ty, but it said your speed crossing the line 59, Charlie Sears coming across at 219. So just a wee bit of a difference there.
Yeah, going back to the Air Force theme, you would think it'd be the other way around. But I can't think of any other time in my sim racing career where that has happened. I think we've had wrecks at finishes for sure, but someone who's basically sliding on the car, all the tires are off the car, and someone going full speed. I don't think that's ever happened. I could be mistaken, but wow, that was absolutely insane.
Thank you to Owen Wilson for that quote contribution. But yeah, it kind of brings up reminders of like the Daytona win on the NASCAR side for you as well. Similar levels of chaos, maybe not quite to the same degree as that, but yeah, if possible, just like last couple laps were utterly chaotic. Just kind of take us through like what you were seeing, honestly,
As you
before
put up the photo.
everything went down. Well, one of them.
Yeah,
One of them.
I mean, so it was for me to win that race after what all kind of went down the whole race. I mean, I think Mangrum and Bahm were basically battling it out there at the end, and the pack wasn't. We just couldn't catch them. We were talking on iRacing, trying to figure out different strategies on. Hey, should we slingshot? Hey, should we keep our distance from each other? Are we pulling each other? Like, we need to figure out something. It wasn't working. So that caution when it came out, I just kind of held back there because I felt like something was going to happen in that pack, and it did. So I avoided that one. And then there were 4 laps to go. I tried the high line, a move on the high line like 2 or 3 times just to kind of see how far my car could go before it kind of stalled out from the inside line getting the run. And there on the last lap, I almost went for it on the backstretch, but I was like, it's just going to be utter chaos. I mean, there's no way 6 cars, I think it was six cars, was going to make it out of 3 and 4 like that, racing like we were. I saw an opening way up high. I think Mangrum went high to try and avoid the wreck because he saw him wrecking below him. And then I just ran into him. And it got him loose. It put him in the wall. And then my right front just clipped him. And it just sent me over him to pass him for the win. So I had no control over my car. Once I hit my right front, I just had no control whatsoever. And I mean, yeah, that's basically how it went. I knew it was kind of going to be a luck type of thing, and whoever was going to get out of that chaos was going to end up winning it. And man, Charlie almost won it from a couple seconds back. So, but yeah, just crazy way to get a win. I mean, I think my 2 wins in iRacing have come from chaos. So, I just will let it be like that. So, I guess, being top 3 in points and everything too, I needed that win at the right time. And my road courses haven't been my best races. So I needed as many points these last oval races as I could get. So, with Charlie just dominating the road courses like he is, and Bahm and Corbin and all them. So, yeah. So I'll just leave it at that.
And yeah, speaking of one of those names that you mentioned here, just give me a second.
Oh no, what's he doing?
Hi. What's up?
Jeez.
What's
I
up?
can't hear anything right now because I don't have a headset.
Oh yeah, I'll get the headset on him.
Okay, cool. I don't know who's in this either. Who we got here?
Oh, hang on.
Oh,
There you go.
all right. Who we got here? Oh, hey Ty, nice win.
Thanks, Corbin. Definitely one for the ages. Us competing against each other, right?
Oh man, I simply don't know what the hell just happened. I don't think I ever will. But that was a certified classic moment that's gonna go down in this league's history. I mean, it can't get any better than that.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, to come on that, like, even if I came out on the other side of that and Charlie barely beat me, I just would have been just as like dumbfounded on what happened.
I can't even explain it, man. But I just wanted to hop in here, say hello, and explain to the people that I have no idea what just happened. I'm probably going to go enjoy an adult beverage because I'm blown away. And yeah, congrats on the win, Ty. And hello to you too, Jordy.
Thanks,
What's
Corbin.
going on, man?
Just debating what just occurred.
we gotta make sure that we can tag iRacing as much as possible and get a highlight reel out of all that because we're both speechless.
I've got no
Can't
words,
you?
man.
Yeah, like get in like the top 10 of iRacing for December or something. I mean,
that'd
come
be
on.
awesome. That'd be so awesome, dude. To get our league out there and get more eyes on our live streams and all the things that we do because we put a lot of effort into this. Jody's got another one of those photos up on his screen, and it's just every photo I look at, it's just unbelievable what just happened. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in. I'm gonna go enjoy a beverage, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, where do we go from here?
Okay. Maybe get on more of a, in a way, another kind of a positive note, depending on how you put it. But Ty, I might as well give you the opportunity here, just in case it is your last one, unless this momentum helps you to maybe, again, as you mentioned, your road course struggles, maybe you bring on the momentum, get some good luck at Laguna Seca next week. But here's an opportunity here. Who would you like to thank for being able to come on out every single Tuesday night, and especially for tonight in particular, be able to get the job done, although tonight was certainly in the not in an expected way. Well, maybe like car-wise expected, but because Air Force, whatever. But yeah, who would you like to thank? Just throw people out there, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think just to go onto the road course thing again, what just happened is going to happen for me to have any chance on that. So, anyways, yeah, I would just like to give thanks to my family. They definitely support me with my racing, my sim racing, and we talk about it every time I see them. And what are you going to do next? What are you going to try out next? What challenge are you going to put yourself, through and all that? But I want to thank them. They watch the streams. They comment on the post. My grandma comments on the post every now and then, and so give thanks to them. Give thanks to my friends. Want to give thanks to all the all the military people for serving our country in the U.S. and then especially Canada as well. But the Air Force guys, I guess that win is for you. I don't know how else I could get more of an Air Force win than that. So if any of them are watching, that one was for you guys. So, but yeah, that's basically it. So, and I want to give a thanks to you guys, Reegs, Jordy, Dan, the competition committee, and Corbin and all you guys. I mean, y'all make it just an amazing, broadcast every single week in and week out. Really appreciate what you guys do. Definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. We greatly appreciate those compliments. Of course, we do the best we can every single Tuesday night, of course, and we will be making sure of that next week whenever we get to the season finale of Laguna Seca, of course. So, with all that being said, for tonight, that is the post-race winner interview for the first annual Fontana DART 250 at Auto Club Speedway, won by, in whatever fashion you want to put it, the number 97 U.S. Air Force Toyota of Ty Higginbottom, his second career victory within the DART Series, first win of the season. Again, just another Canadian Motorsports Network win for you, Ty, coming out of sheer chaos. But once again, congratulations. Go and celebrate it well and safe, and we will see you next week for one final hurrah at Laguna Seca.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You as well, buddy.
Take her easy, Haggy.
All right, Jordy, you can go back into the control room now. All good?
Right. So where do we go from there?
I Maybe we should we should prepare for bed, look in the mirror, and just ask ourselves what the hell just happened. Go to sleep, and then just wake up in the morning and joke around that we had this very wild dream.
I mean, it'd be equally believable, right?
Yeah, basically. But so yeah, finally can now use the schedule graphic here. So after I failed to earlier, didn't have the time for that. But yes, second half of the schedule right there. All those rounds up until round 13 are complete. We have one. It's hard to believe we've finally made it now, or we will next Tuesday, the season finale for the 2023 Canadian Motorsports Network Dallara IR-01 Auto Racing Team Series on iRacing. The Grand Prix of Monterrey at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. 50 laps on Tuesday, December 19th. One final hurrah to conclude what has certainly been an interesting season, to say the least, for the DART series here. The first open wheel one on iRacing, of course. We're all done with the ovals after tonight, so yeah, the oval part of the season was certainly interesting, to say the least. A lot of fun races. I mean, we ended off pretty much on... there was no better way to end it off on the ovals than at Auto Club Speedway, with that kind of a finish that we just... like drug finish we basically just saw there. But one last hurrah on a road course at Laguna Seca next Tuesday night. 50 laps there. Jordy, yeah, you're back at the WOW now. Just overall thoughts on... I mean, we kind of already gone through the overall thoughts on tonight, but just kind of what shall we anticipate for next Tuesday night when we conclude this season?
So in the middle of all that madness, again, Charlie Sears finishing second and Bahm not winning, that gives him a significant cushion in terms of the championship picture. It'll be somewhere in the 40-point range, I believe, 40, 41. We'll see what the updated standings look like, but that's roughly where it'll be. So pretty much for Charlie Sears, he's just got to keep it clean next week, and the championship will wind up his. But Laguna Seca and that infamous corkscrew, it can throw some, well, wrench isn't exactly the right word, I guess, fittingly a corkscrew or something similar into the works. So, there's definitely reason to pay attention to everything going on. And as you've seen tonight, there'll be battles throughout the field. So yeah, that particular track, the way it's configured with all of its elevation, I think it's clear to say that there's been an improvement from, Barber at the start of the season, where, similar elevation, similar speed. It'll be interesting to see just how far the field as a whole has come. And yeah, I think we'll be in for some eventful racing next Tuesday night to wrap up this particular season.
Absolutely. So with all that being said, that will do it for tonight's live production of Canadian Motorsports Network Racing, particularly for the DART Series on iRacing Season 2 here in 2023. That was the Fontana 250 at Auto Club Speedway, the number 97 of Ty Higginbottom, claiming the victory in the air, a lot slower and compared to a full-speed car that somehow did not beat him to the line. But again, that was the Fontana 250. Next Tuesday night, December 19th, we will have one final hurrah for Season 2 of the DART Series at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, with the Grand Prix of Monterrey. Coverage begins here on this YouTube channel around 7:20 p.m. Eastern, 8:20 p.m. Atlantic, somewhere around then. So be sure to stay tuned for that, and stay tuned to our social media pages, of course, across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yes, I'm saying Twitter and not X, because that is correct. It just is, morally speaking. And yeah, be sure to keep an eye out for the announcement that's supposed to come out tomorrow, that we literally, again, Jordy and I have absolutely no idea what it's going to be all about, but we are highly anticipating what's to come next for the future of the Canadian Motorsports Network. So again, one final race next Tuesday night, December 19th. You will not want to miss that after what we just saw here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. So, on behalf of myself, the voice of the Canadian Motorsports Network, Regan McCauley from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, and then my fellow color commentator who's been here since the very beginning. He's on the other side of the country in Alberta, Canada. It's Jordy Kerher. And then on behalf of the network's competition committee, other staff involved within the network, drivers as well, sponsors and partners. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this live production. And once again, we will see you next week, December 19th, Tuesday night, Laguna Seca season finale for season 2 of the Canadian Motorsports Network Dart Series on iRacing, live here on YouTube. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you then